Recording again?
So
And by the way,
You're
any
so popular.
or read Steph, just if anyone has any questions.
You're doing excellent.
All right. All right. So here we are. It's 1942. Fritz.
44.
42. Fritz, we think, is gone. We don't. You think he went to fight with the British or
He was in the British Brigade.
and you don't think okay.
No.
We'll move on.
He left.
1944.
Left him and left my mother and went to America.
He came to America in 51.
All right.
What did he do till 51?
Stop.
1951.
What did he do till then?
Huh?
From
I don't know.
1942?
11 years he was in Israel?
No,
I
he
don't
was
think
living
so.
in Italy. He had Italian woman.
Oh, that's right. He married Italian.
You know, man,
When
you're
I
jumping, you
met
don't
him-
know, so relax. I know the whole
All right.
history.
So he went to Italy. You think?
He was with the Jewish Brigade,
Okay.
okay? And they took over Italy or something, and he fell in love with a young kid.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Do you know where in Italy? Do you know do you know the woman's name or anything?
The woman, I met the woman. You met him too.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
Yeah.
So that was the woman he stayed with until he was much older.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hava. So 1944. You two are living where?
Haifa.
How did you end up? How did you end up?
52?
44.
44.
Oh, Jerusalem.
I was born in
You
Jerusalem.
were born. All right. So it's 44. You're in Jerusalem.
Yeah, but my mother didn't live there too long. She moved to Haifa.
But before you moved in Jerusalem.
Haifa, we moved in 1948, 47. I went to school in
How would I
Jerusalem.
know? I was
Okay, all right.
3 years old.
So
I was
where?
in school in Timoni, Jerusalem. You remember Timoni?
Adi, sit down.
So you're born in Jerusalem.
Yes.
You're living in school. Do you know where in Jerusalem you lived? Where the house was?
Yeah.
Do you know the neighborhood, the address, or anything? What,
There? I was a baby. I don't know.
what is it?
Makom Chaim, it's just, it's like side of the downtown area. Down there, it's they have above us was an Arab village, south.
Okay. All right. So you're there, and then do you know the story of how she met your father?
Met him in Farsaba, I think.
He was a musician.
Yes, Farsaba.
What kind of musician was he?
He was for the
Any
Israeli
instrument?
military. Israeli military. He was בלהקה של
מה פתאום? הוא ניגן בקלאבי.
הוא גם ניגן בצבא ההגנה לישראל.
That I don't know.
So you think you say it again in English?
He was playing, just from the Israeli military. So he was playing there too.
That I don't know. I was a little girl, so
Right.
he maybe knows
All right.
about
Picture
that.
or something.
And so do you know why you moved from Jerusalem to Haifa?
To find work, I guess. I don't know.
It was too dangerous.
What they
Jerusalem. After we declare Israel, everybody jumped on Jerusalem.
In
right?
48.
48.
So you're still living. When you
we,
think,
we
when did
ran
you,
away. We ran away from Jerusalem just before they declared the independence.
and so it's you, Hava, Grandma Jeanette, and I'm sorry, what was your father's name?
Shlomo.
Shlomo what?
Cohen. Cohen.
Cohen.
And he went to fight the Arabs, right? In Akfagan Lesser Beta.
Not that I know.
So in 1948,
Yeah.
and do you
I
know
was 4 years old, so how would I know?
do you know anything about your father's background? Like where
German, Berlin. He was born in Berlin.
he was born in Berlin?
Yes.
And what year did he come to? Did he come to Israel or Palestine?
1932.
32. So before everything.
Yes, and he brought my grandparents. They were 80 years old. They are buried in Jerusalem. They died maybe 2 years after I was born.
And what did they do when they got from Berlin to Jerusalem?
How would I know? I was 2 years old.
Well, I mean, they tell you.
And they were old. They were like 80.
Okay.
They were running their house there.
Were they?
He used to run after us.
How would I remember? 2 years old?
2 years old, you
I can't remember.
But you remember? Do you remember them as sort of?
I remember when I was 4 or 5.
Do you remember them as grandparents figures? Like in your mind, were they your grandparents?
Running to chasing us out in the days, the parents were around.
So Hava, so now you move from after the war, after the independence, you move to Haifa.
Yeah.
And in Haifa, what are they doing for work?
My mother was a waitress in the cafe shop.
Yeah, something,
And
yeah.
that's how she met Schechter.
Yeah.
They were divorced.
When did your father and Grandma Jeanette get divorced? You know,
Maybe 2-3 years.
they were married for 2 or 3 years, and did he end up in Jerusalem?
No.
What happened to him?
Oh my God, I have to.
He became, I know, he was alcoholic or something.
Good to let it out.
You know,
מה, לקח אותי לקיבוץ.
If you don't want to say anything, you don't have to
No,
say.
I'm not.
It's fine. You don't have to talk.
אוקיי.
All right. So Shakter.
קיבוץ, מה?
הכרתי אותו בתל אביב,
מה
קיבוץ רק
פתאום?
שנה.
מה פתאום?
Adi, anything you want to ask about your grandfather?
אני יודע, אני הייתי בכל האתר, מה את מדברת?
אני לא הולכת לספר את זה.
לא,
Okay, I don't want to cause any problems. Let's move on. All right. So now,
כמה שנים?
Dad, Dad.
לא הרבה, אני הייתי שם, סבלתי, זרקו אותי החוצה.
אבל גם בתל אביב גם.
לא, הביא אותי לביתה, רחוב ביתה, left me there, knocked on the door and ran away.
Okay.
So I don't want to tell all this.
Fine. So now in Haifa, let's call it 1950. When did she meet a Shakter?
51.
51?
51 Shakter? And so you guys are both very young still. Neely's not there
I
yet.
was 6 years old.
Do you know how she met Shakter?
Yes,
In
she
the-
was
in
a
the
waitress.
cafe.
She was a waitress in the cafe, you know,
Cafe.
coffee shop.
Okay.
And that's how she met him.
He came in as a customer?
Yes.
Okay. And so, and what did Shakter do when they met? What did he do for a
In
living?
the bakery.
He had a bakery already.
Yeah, he did very
For
well.
many years he had a
Was it his bakery? Was it his family, the parents?
His.
What parents? Parents died in Romania.
All right. So now tell me your history of what you know Shakter. So Shakter is who? What is his name?
Moshe Shechter was my father, and he came to Israel in 1932. I don't know when he opened the bakery, but he had a bakery
From
Romania.
he came from Romania.
Right, and he had a bakery for 38 years.
Was Bucharest? Do you know where in Romania?
No, it's called Rado.
Bukovina,
Radovit.
no?
Bukovina is
It's in the border between Transylvania and Romania.
Radot. It's called Radot.
And did he come
Radaut in Hebrew.
Did he come because he was a Zionist, or did he just want to get? Did you know why he came to Palestine?
He came with his 2 sisters, and he had 5 sisters in the U.S. I don't know why.
8 sisters.
Everybody ran away.
Together.
You ran
8
away from
together.
them.
Okay, so,
No,
so
with him it was 8.
and he came with 2 sisters and parents, or no? No parents. Do we know anything about the parents?
I don't.
So they were Shakter, and so he's in he comes to where? Do you know his story of how he came? All right, so he meets. We don't know anything about him prior to meeting Grandma Jeanette.
Well, I know he was married for 17 years. He had no children.
Prior to Grandma Jeanette, do we know anything about this woman?
His wife died from, איך אומרים שחפת?
Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis. She died from that.
So what year was Grandma Jeanette married to Shakter?
1951.
They were married in 1951, so they met and got married pretty quickly.
I guess so.
Okay, and so and they had a bakery, and you guys were still pretty young. So when you were growing up, did you know him as your dad? Did you both call him dad? Like,
No.
what was Shakter to
He
you?
adopted your dad.
Like legally adopted?
Legally. Legally adopted you.
Just later on.
Later?
Later.
Okay.
So, but you at that point, did you know that your father was not there?
We came to a bar mitzvah.
Sorry. You know, we can stop if you want to stop. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable.
When I was 13, they told me.
When you were 13,
Yeah, 1953.
so up until that point, you thought Shakter was your father?
No, I told her father was not.
Because he adopted him.
Your father adopted him. Cohen.
So he was Cohen.
Okay. And so, did you guys spend time with Cohen when you were little?
Not too many years.
But he didn't live there. He moved to Jerusalem when you were in Haifa.
No.
Now you get
Sorry,
mixed
tell me.
up.
Okay.
You tell now. He remembers more.
In 48, in 47,
47, I was 3 years old.
Jerusalem,
I
you
don't
couldn't
remember.
live there. No food, no other. Everybody could moved out. You know, the Jews had the blockade all this time. But they moved. And Haifa was the safest place in Israel. They went there.
And Cohen, you called him dad, and do we have to go? Sorry. So Cohen, what becomes of Cohen? When how long did you know him for before he passed away?
My dad?
What the question? I forgot.
How long? Cohen is your father. As far as you know, Cohen's your father. They're together, but then
He
he moved.
came to United States. States. He died, he was 57.
He came to the U.S.
Before,
with-
when Ronnie was
71. 70.
4 months, right?
He was
Ronnie
died
was
70.
2 months. In the 71.
Ronnie was born 1970.
Yeah, so he died 1970.
70.
Yes.
All right, so I'll come back to this. So Schachter's there. Schachter now he adopts both of you.
No, not me.
What-
He adopted you.
The father was
Was
alive,
I
so he
still
couldn't.
Okay.
alive? My father was alive. My parents, they were divorced, but he was still alive. He didn't give me up. I was the only
Right.
child.
So how do you remember? What are your first memories of Schachter?
He was her dad.
I know. So what do
She
you
was
remember?
a spoiled brat.
My father was a workaholic. That's what I remember.
A work
Workaholic.
at the bakery. And what kind of bakery was it?
Wholesale.
No, first it was a bakery. ברחוב הנביאים שם.
Yeah, but
First it was a bakery. Yeah, yeah.
Where-
German.
Babylon.
No, yeah.
Downtown Habad Achuza. Forgot
No,
Achuza?
I wasn't born when it was in Achuza. What
Yes,
does
you
that
were
mean?
born after they moved to Mifrat. Don't tell me, I
No,
know.
it was in מושבה גרמנית ודודה צילי הייתה גרה.
אבל אחר כך,
Yeah, yeah.
אחר כך הם עברו למפרץ.
Yeah, but yeah, you were ready.
Okay.
You were in the United States.
אני עבדתי שם, מה מספרת?
היית בן 21 שבאת לארצות הברית, לא?
Switch back to English.
Your dad was
אני עבדתי
21
במסעדה.
when he came to United States.
אני עבדתי שם, מה את מדברת שטויות?
אתה עבדת בכרמל.
לא, אני עבדתי...
אצל קסלר עבדת, לא?
All right, so let's go back in time. Bakery, Schachter Bakery. Is it called? What's the name of the bakery?
יד זבולון, לא?
No, but before that, what was it?
Downtown with the German city, what they
It
call
was
it.
Chester's
Chester's Bakery was
Zebulun
in
is
Then it was Mullen or Celia.
The one in Achuza was smaller.
Okay.
Okay, so
It
that's what
wasn't
it
in
was.
Achuza, it was in מושבה גרמנית.
לא, אחוזה בכרמל.
היה לו
Alright.
בכרמל? How old was I? 2 months?
You יודעת?
You were not born
I
yet.
don't know,
What year
you
is she? What
remember?
year is Billy born?
I don't remember.
I was a baby.
All right, so
I
let's
can't
skip
remember.
ahead a little. 1960. 1950, 1960.
What do you wanna
Are you
know,
are you work? Do you
60?
guys work in the bakery? Like, what is your childhood like with the bakery?
1960s, we were here.
No, not 60.
66.
No. So
Before
I
me.
came
No,
in
no, no, no.
63 also.
You came,
I
what year
came
did
twice.
you
I
come
got the
here?
honor to come twice.
You can where?
wait, stop. Sorry. So
I came when I was 11 years old.
מה פתאום היית בת 14? You
No,
14
the
years
first
old.
time.
wait. Nearly. All right, before we get to
She
America,
doesn't remember. After
Just
you
before
went to
leaving
America.
I know.
Haifa.
you're all nearly,
You didn't.
nearly Hava.
No, I came for that.
You're all living in Haifa. You have a bakery as a family. Are you going to the same school together? Like, what was the relationship between the three of you when you're
One
young?
school, she wasn't born yet. She was going to בית ספר גאולה. גאולה. You know?
Yeah.
Went to the elementary school
Okay.
in Haifa. And me too.
We grew up.
All in Hebrew.
All Hebrew.
Okay.
But what I remember, when he was 21, he finished the army. And Schechter
22.
and my mother put him on the ship and they told him you're going to America.
No, he went to Europe first. Didn't you go to Europe? He went to Europe for
Why
6 months.
Europe?
He went to see
Well, that
Europe
I
and
didn't
then
know.
he went to America.
That I didn't know.
And so, all right, I'll ask you a different time about the army. But Hava, did you go to the army?
No.
So what-
That's my army. I
I
got
saved her from the army.
How did you not go? How did you not enter the army?
I
Got
started
married.
to become a nurse.
Okay. Where did you go to be a
In
nurse?
Nahariya. You know where Nahariya is?
North near Lebanon.
Huh?
Near
Near
Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Okay.
2 years. And then I was 18. Chaim said we're getting married. And we did.
So you got married, and did you stay in Israel? Or?
Yeah, 5 years we were in Israel. Adi was born there.
Okay.
We came, he was a year and a half.
And your mother is she? So let's talk about how you were the first one in the family to go to America.
Yes.
Why?
He was the only
Why
one.
did that happen?
They wanted to get rid of him.
Future.
I'm
Better future.
joking, I'm joking.
Better
Do you
future.
remember why? Do you remember why you came?
It's probably expensive to get you.
Israel was too small for me, you know what I mean?
Complicated. We're not going there. Continue with
Okay.
the question.
So the next one. So that you're in America. You end up in America. And how does the rest of the family come to America?
Well, they came as a visitor with the cruise, right? With the ship.
No, we went home with the ship. What are you talking about?
didn't come to
we
Europe?
came here legally.
So he's here already.
Yes.
And you're in Israel.
He is with the ants, all the ants. They
He
took care
lives
of
with
you,
the ants for
right?
about a year.
What ants?
Adudot.
The Schachter ants.
Schachter ants.
Schachter sisters.
No, sisters.
Schachter sisters. And where is this? Where are the ants?
The
In the
Bronx.
Bronx.
They're in the Bronx.
The Bronx.
Parkchester,
Parkchester?
Parkchester, 177th Street.
Okay. So you're still in Israel. You're in Israel. Well, how do we end up here?
So they came as a visitor.
Who's they?
My
Really?
mother, my father, and me.
Okay.
We came here for like a year, but we stayed like 9 or 10 months, and we went back.
What year was that? I'm sorry. What year?
65.
When did you get married?
68, right?
No.
Remember Khamamba. 67.
Oh, we came to America.
We got married. We got married in January 64.
And we went.
And a week or 2 weeks later, they traveled to the United States as a visit.
Okay, and you still in Israel.
They're still in
We
Israel.
stayed a year.
After a year, they came back, and they decided to go back to the United States. So he was trying to sell the
Of course, we
bakery.
got
Okay.
married
Okay.
and they left.
What did you do in America for a year?
I
He
went
was
to
working.
school.
He
You went to
worked.
school?
No,
He
you
was
came
working
as
in
a
the
visitor.
bakery.
I went to school for a year.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I did.
You went to school for your father. He said was working in a bakery in
My
America.
father worked in
In
a
a
bakery.
bakery.
And Grandma Jeanette,
She worked.
what did she do?
Oh, no, I don't think she worked. She didn't work.
She didn't work.
Okay, so then you go back to Israel, and then you're still in Israel.
Yeah.
Who comes first to America? You or you?
Came back.
66.
After a
I came
year,
back
after a year in
1966.
Israel, they tried to sell the
remember
business and
everything.
the apartment.
Okay.
And they sold one apartment. They bought another apartment
In Haifa?
in Haifa. Then the other side of this, across the same street. And in 66, they went back to the United States. Schechter stayed. He
Stayed
couldn't
with
stay
us.
the business.
A year and a
So
half.
he lived with us and we took care of him. And then 67.
Sorry, Schachter, your father
Stayed in
stayed
his-
with the two of you.
Right.
And is Adi born yet?
No, in 67, Adi was born.
So the three of you are living in an apartment together in
You were
Haifa.
pregnant with Daddy, no?
Was
What
I
year was
pregnant?
he born?
I graduated in 65.
Yeah, I was pregnant, I think 5 months or 4 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and Neely and Grandma Jeanette have moved to America now.
They came because they didn't want to lose the green card.
Oh,
After 9
If you
months,
stay more than a
supposed
year
to come back.
abroad, you have to go back.
so you come to America. You're going to live there now for good. And where do you live? Where do you live when you get here?
We lived 9 months with my aunt in the Bronx, and then my father came in 1967. We moved to Brooklyn. We bought a business, the bakery.
The bakery?
Schefter's Bakery.
Schefter's Bakery.
Yeah,
in
you worked
Whitehall.
there.
Right then.
So you were all living together?
No. In 1967, you come to Brooklyn and you buy a bakery. And where did you live? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was right on 14th Street and then on Corbin Place.
Corbin Place. Is that the one I remember from a kid? Is the brick stairs up?
Yes.
And you're still in Israel.
No, we came,
She came
we came after the war in 68.
68 we came.
Why did you come?
My mother wanted all her children
To
in
have a
America.
better life. To have a
No,
better life.
one of the reasons
אמא רצתה שאנחנו...
I was very slow in Israel at that time and I didn't have a job for about 3 months. And my mother, Janet, was pushing for fake papers and they need me in the United States. Also was the war in Vietnam. We didn't have any kids from colleges graduating because nobody wanted to go to Vietnam. So they kept doing master degree and doctor degree and they did it engineer. And I came at that time and I applied.
יש
And,
פה שם, אני פה
No, Papa.
they saw me engineer, so they I got papers. With the help of the papers of
Hey,
doctor.
wait,
All right, time out.
We need to go to the bathroom.